Hello YouTube, Helsinki Rocks AGF here again with another collection video. We're finally almost done with collection videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at my PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 collections, and you're going to laugh at me when you see my PlayStation 1 collection, because it's 3 games. Honestly, the PlayStation 1 I never got into. I had it as a kid growing up, but I always liked the N64 more. And so, these games here mean something to me in a way. And that's honestly the only reason I have them. If these games didn't mean something to me, I wouldn't own any PlayStation 1 games. So we have your Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. I love Dragon Ball, and this game is actually just crappy, which is that's the reason I own it. It's notoriously horrible. For a long time I didn't even know this was a game. When I found out this was a game, I immediately went online and bought it. The Fifth Element, based on the Bruce Willis movie. I love The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element is one of my favorite movies of all time. But it's a bad movie. It's not good, but I love it. And this game is bad, and I don't love it. This game is horrible. It's a miserable pile, an abomination of a game. Do you see a trend in my PlayStation 1 games? They're all bad. But it's a Fifth Element game based on the movie The Fifth Element. Yeah, exactly. Lastly, we do have a good game, Spyro the Dragon. I do own this because I played the crap out of this game as a kid, and it was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation. And by one of my favorite games, I mean my only favorite game. Never got into Crash Bandicoot or anything, or the RPGs, so that's definitely probably my favorite PlayStation game. I'm going to start my PlayStation 2 games. Beat Down Fists of Vengeance. And I did not know what the heck to make of this game. And it's kind of like a 3D adventure, brawler, mafia kind of game. I had fun with it, but it's definitely a B-tier kind of game. These I talked about in my PS3 collection, in the HD collection. We have Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 2, and Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. Devil May Cry is one of my favorite series. I'm just going to talk briefly. 3 is my favorite in the entire series. I love Virgil. Virgil's one of my favorite characters in video games in general, and being able to play as him is awesome. I'm just going to wrap it up like that. A trilogy of Dragon Ball Z games, Dragon Ball Z Budokai, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, and Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. 3 is definitely the best, but my favorite PS2 Dragon Ball Z game is Burst Limit, which I don't own. I used to have, but I sold it off stupidly a long time ago, and it's one I need to pick up again. But 3 is really good. I'm sorry that I can't stop coughing in this video. I've got something in my throat, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm trying. Dragon Quest 8. Fantastic RPG. Really fun. Don't have the slipcover, but a great RPG. Ford Racing 2, which is a licensed game, obviously, and it kind of ugly. It kind of looks like just a beefed up PS1 game, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Not bad if you're interested in Ford or in racing games. It's worth a look. It's $1 probably at GameStop. Fur Fighters, Viggo's Revenge. I haven't played too much of it, but I played it on the Dreamcast and liked it there. And here we have Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4. Again, Gran Turismo, not much to say about them. They're racing simulators and they're pretty good. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which today is still probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto game. I know 5 is really good and technically and in fun, but Vice City is my favorite setting, and Tommy Vercetti is definitely the best GTA protagonist. Tommy Vercetti is a badass in the baddest sense. He's the best Grand Theft Auto protagonist. God, Vice City's so good. San Andreas, again, similar. I like it a lot, but it's just not as good as Vice City, in my opinion. Half-Life. This is how I played the first Half-Life, not on the PC. I played it also after I played Half-Life 2. So, it's really good. I love Half-Life a lot, and I think anyone who hasn't played it should definitely check it out. But you should probably play it before 2, because trust me, it's not as good when you play it after 2. Play 1 first, like you should. King of Fighters 11, I bought this, and I've never played it. Mortal Kombat Armageddon, the definitive Mortal Kombat game as far as I'm concerned. None of the other ones are really even worth getting, like Deception or Deadly Alliance. Just get Armageddon. It has like every Mortal Kombat character ever, except for like 2 people who ended up in the Wii port. So get the Wii port if you have to. The Creative Fighter is really good, and this is definitely the definitive Mortal Kombat game before they've ruined it with an awful reboot. One of my favorite racing games, Need for Speed Underground 2. I loved the first one. I need to pick up the first one again. But this one is just so much better. It's open world, and you can drive around and race. And I like the cars in this one better. It's got a better soundtrack. But, man, it's a great game. I have it on PS2 and on the Xbox. I like it that much. Okami. I've talked about it a lot in my PS3 video. But Okami is one of my favorite games of all time. It's the best Legend of Zelda game. Let's just put it that way. The best Legend of Zelda game. It's one of the best games ever made. It's in my personal top 5. Play Okami. Play it on the PS2, play it on the Wii, play it on the PS3. Play it somewhere. You'll love it. Shadow of the Colossus. I think I got this game for like $2 at a flea market. I haven't played it. I heard it's pretty good, but I'm not super interested in it. I'll try it eventually, though. Space Channel 5, a music rhythm game that I suck at, but I really love playing. It's got some great music. Mexican Flyer, the theme song is awesome. Super Dragon Ball Z, which is like Street Fighter 2 with Dragon Ball Z characters. I didn't get into it. I don't like it that much. Tekken Tag Tournament. A fun fighter. If you like Tekken, and this is the first Tekken Tag, it's a good game. It's really cheap, too. Tokyo Extreme Racer 3. Got some stickers that I can't get off. I tried, but they just will not come off. I like the first 2 on the Dreamcast, so I thought I'd get Tokyo Extreme Racer 3. The PlayStation 2 was where I played most of my Tony Hawk games that were released on that system, with the exception being Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, which I had on the GameCube, which was my first GameCube game. But here we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, which I didn't really like that much. Definitely the weakest in the original series before they went, off the deep end with it. Underground, I love Underground. Underground is probably my favorite in the series overall. It's got a story mode, which a lot of people don't like. You can run around and drive cars, but it's fun. I really like Tony Hawk Underground. Underground 2 isn't as good as the first Underground, but it's still a blast. And American Wasteland is probably the best Tony Hawk game. It's not my favorite, but it's probably the best gameplay-wise. It's so fun gameplay-wise, but it's not my favorite just because some of the levels I don't like a whole lot. Underground, I love the levels, which is why I'd put it over American Wasteland. But American Wasteland is still really good. This is the special edition, which included 2 classic mode levels, 2 secret characters, a documentary, and a concept art gallery. Good thing I'm going to tell you people right now, if anyone who has the collector's edition, if something would happen to your disc, like mine got scratched up really bad, if you get a greatest hits copy of the game, the greatest hits copy does have the collector's edition exclusive stuff, so your save will still work. Because if you get a non-greatest hits copy and you have the collector's edition, the saves are incompatible, so you have to make sure you get a greatest hits copy or track down an actual collector's edition one. True Crime Streets of LA, which is kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but really fun. I played this game, and I beat the good cop story, and I beat the neutral cop story, and you have to beat the bad cop story also to unlock the true ending. But my game kept freezing on the last mission of the bad cop storyline, so I couldn't do it. But it's a really fun game other than that. Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. Virtua Fighter is awesome. And this This one's a pretty good entry, but I'd say if you're looking for cheap Virtua Fighters, which they all are, get 5 on the PS3. WWF SmackDown, just bring it. It's surpassed on the system. Don't get it. Shut Your Mouth is really good. I like the walking around backstage career mode. I had a lot of fun with this game, and I still like to pop it in from time to time. It's a toss-up between this or Here Comes the Pain, which I don't have, unfortunately. But Here Comes the Pain, Shut Your Mouth are the 2 best wrestling games on the PS2. Here we'll talk about Yakuza 1 and Yakuza 2. Yakuza 1 you can still find relatively cheap, and it's a fantastic game. It's the only one in the series to be dubbed. All the other ones are subtitled only. But Yakuza 2, sadly, is kind of gone up in price because it was a really late PS2 game. If I remember right, it came out after the PS3 was already out. So that tells you how late it was, and unfortunately it's kind of went up in price. But it's a fantastic game. I love Yakuza series. I highly recommend it. And lastly, Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament, which is a 2D fighter based on the Yu Yu Hakusho anime. And it's not that fun. It's okay. The best way to play this game is just turn on all the cheats and just like screw around. That's the best way to play it, in my opinion. And guys, that was my PS1 and PS2 collection videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.